Welcome, demigods, monsters, and gods alike, to the one and only Olympus Report. You know what the best part of the Percy Jackson TV series on Disney Plus was? Getting to relive Percabeth all over again. Here's my top 5 favorite Percabeth moments from the TV show. Number 5. First meeting. The first time Percy and Annabeth talk, well, the first time when Percy isn't half unconscious and drooling is in the bathroom after Percy has just destroyed it.
I can explain.
No, you can't.
Okay.
And it's just such a perfect first meeting for them. Both are curious about the other, but are unsure what to say. And I just love the way Percy says Annabeth's name here.
Are you stalking me, Annabeth?
Yes.
Okay.
I personally love this first meeting more than the one in the books. It just feels more Percabeth and personal to me. And in fact, this wouldn't be the last time that Annabeth stalks Percy. Number 4. Wise Girl and Seaweed Brain. Would Percabeth even really be Percabeth without their iconic nicknames for each other? Slightly teasing but yet endearing, each one fits the other so well. We had to wait more than halfway through the show before we even heard them, but once we did, they were perfect.
Wait.
This isn't the arch seaweed brain. Toss a seaweed brain? It's a tree seaweed brain.
What do you think, wise girl?
You can hear the tenderness behind each utterance. I know Percabeth is supposed to be a slow burn, but you can't tell me that these kids don't already have a crush on each other. Number 3. Hugs. Percy and Annabeth definitely started off a little tense, not really understanding each other, but once they share some near-death experiences and some heart-to-hearts, they really form a true friendship. And we finally see how much Annabeth has come to care for Percy when Annabeth and Grover find Percy after the Arch incident. Percy alive and not dead. So overcome with happiness, Annabeth hugs Percy and Percy tenderly returns the hug, sealing their new friendship. Because, as Percy points out, friends hug.
It doesn't have to be a thing, you know? They hugged me.
Oh boy.
I mean, we're like friends now. It seems like a thing friends do.
I especially love the expressions on their face. Walker and Leah do such a good job of acting with just their facial expressions. You can truly see in Percy's face just how much he's come to care for Annabeth and vice versa. But if one hug wasn't enough, we get another in the final episode, showing just how much these two have come to care for each other. For the second hug, I love how much relief you can see in Annabeth in just knowing that Percy is okay. I also love how Annabeth strategically used this hug to tell Percy about Clarice. Very practical of her. Or maybe she just used it as an excuse to give Percy another hug. I also want to throw into this hug section the necklace exchange, as it's kind of a half hug. Annabeth's arms are going around Percy. I especially loved this moment because it shows just how much Annabeth has come to trust Percy. This is her most prized possession, and she's lending it out to Percy. She wants Percy to know that he's not alone, and that is so impactful. And honestly, the best part of this scene is how Grover is awkwardly trying to avoid eye contact in the background. What can I say? I'm a sucker for Percabeth-friendly physical affection. Number 2. The Tunnel of Love. This scene is beyond amazing and honestly probably one of the best in the entire show. We finally see Annabeth and Percy start to understand each other. Both are a little awkward, but you can clearly see they care for one another. For the first time, Annabeth validates how Percy feels, telling him in a discreet way that he's a good person and to never change.
Maybe she should have been preparing me better.
Maybe she was preparing you. So when you got to us, you be different than this.
I could watch this scene over and over again. I love how Percy saves Annabeth not only once, but twice. I mean, how could you not get emotional at Percy willingly sacrificing himself so Annabeth can go on? I mean, Percy is already ready to fall into Tartarus for his wise girl. Number 1. The Underworld. Episode 7 saw our heroes in the Underworld, and it gave us some of the best Percabeth moments in the show. Let's start with the most obvious one, the Mark of Athena cliff reference. In this scene, Percy helps Annabeth up off a deadly drop, very reminiscent of the ending of the Mark of Athena. One of the best scenes in the entirety of the Riordan verse. But that's not the only reference we got in this episode. In the House of Hades, a curse is placed on Annabeth by the Cyclops Polyphemus, causing Annabeth to temporarily go blind, unable to find Percy as he desperately calls out for her, much like this scene here.
Annabeth! Annabeth!
Guys!
Annabeth!
Where Annabeth is once again trapped and Percy desperately calls out to her and tries to free her. You can see the desperation on Percy's face. This time there's nothing Percy can do but to leave her behind. Thankfully though, Annabeth is able to escape and our duo is once again reunited where this time Annabeth pulls Percy up. What can I say? I love me some Percabeth angst. Season 1 gave us some fantastic Percabeth moments that weren't necessarily overly romantic because we have to remember that these are still kids, but instead were really wholesome and I absolutely loved it. What was your favorite Percabeth moment from the TV show? Let me know down in the comments below. But until next time, I'm signing off, so please always remember to stay safe.